It's uncommon fossil, and since we're approaching rotation in about 2 weeks from now, I'm continuing to play some decks that I have enjoyed over the past year or two that they've been around. And today I'm playing Eternatus Vmax, and this is a build similar to what I played a while ago back in Players Cup 4. It includes some newer cards since then also, but it's kind of in that based on that, right? Which means particularly it doesn't play Wheezing, which is the way Eternatus is these days, right? So play Eternatus, we know that, not going to go into details. Crobat V, that's the draw engine, as well as helps build up the bench. Plays a couple goons to get some more Pokemon on the bench, and as well as to do that 10 damage with Headbutt Tantrum is useful, trying to get the numbers to work. Maybe it needs another goon or two, I'm not sure. And then it plays Galarian Moltres V, which is a very nice card. It does 190 for 3 energy. But it has Dire Flame Wings, which allows you to accelerate 1 energy from the discard pile once per turn to one of your Moltres Vs. So that's good. So it helps you get set up, because otherwise you're just manually attaching once per turn, and sometimes that gets slow. The deck could play Dark Patch, and maybe it should. I don't have it in here. Just 12 basic energy, since that pairs nicely with the Galarian Moltres. Hiding Dark would be an option. I certainly have Forest Seal Stone, which certainly wasn't in the deck list back in Players Cup 4, but a very nice include. Temple of Sinnoh to help with the Lugia matchup, hopefully. Serena to give me the Gust option, but also to draw, which is useful. And then a card which I really don't like, but I found back in Players Cup 4, the deck just worked much better with it. I play 4 Crushing Hammers. I really hate these cards, hate when it's used against me, hate even using it myself, because it just feels so bad relying on that coin flip to get things working. But at least back in the day, the hammers were really critical for the deck being successful, because Eternatus is a little slow setting up, and you need to kind of buy an early turn often to be competitive. So we'll see how the game deck goes. It's not, obviously, the best deck in format now. It's not a top choice, but it's a deck I have some fond memories of, so just want to play it a little bit just to kind of say goodbye to it, right? That's kind of what I'm looking at with these videos. For the most part, they're not top decks necessarily. Some are still pretty good, but none of them are at the top, I don't believe. So, all right, so I will bench my Eternatus. Not a bad starting hand. Some energies, 3 energies. I don't need that many, but I can toss away some energies with Ultra Ball to set up my Galarian Moltres V. So I can attach, I can play Crobat, so I have some options for my turn to kind of get things going here. I don't remember, do I go first or second? So I go first. So I'm up against a Lugia deck. So I will attach. I think I want to keep the other cards I have, so I will get those down. I will put down a Moltres V, which is nice, and I will Crobat, get 4 new cards, 4 more cards into hand, so not terrible. Temple of Sinnoh is quite nice for me, but I'll save that. I do want to sit on that, right? Accelerate to myself. I could throw another V into play, but I think I want to wait on that. I could Ultra Ball, but I think I want to keep these cards, so I'm going to end turn. Also, by playing these tools down, I'm kind of hoping to bait them. They probably play the Lost. All right, so they're making that play. I will send up my Crobat. He's got the Air Balloon. I guess they may be just thinning. Oh, well, that was easy peasy. Obviously, didn't show off what the deck did at all there. My opponent just didn't set up and didn't want to try to work out the game. Now, I was far from guaranteed win. I think it's best for in matchups like that for my opponent. I'd like to continue to try to play out the game usually. Once I know I'm going to lose, that means I know my opponent has game and there's nothing I can do to disrupt it. They have all the cards I know in hand are on the board that they need to take all their prizes. I don't have the ability to disrupt them from that, then I will concede. But up until I get to that point, I don't like to to concede twofold, because you will win some games, right? I mean, yes, in terms of just moving up the ladder, you quitting games that quickly that you don't think you'll win may, at the end of the day, help you progress faster. You just get more games in. As long as you're winning the majority of your games, then it's to your advantage. But, I look, when you sit down to play a game, you're playing to win. That's my attitude. You want to have fun, but you're always trying to win. That's part of it. And honestly, when you're in a game that you're at the disadvantage, that's when you have to work. That's when you have to try to figure things out. And even if it doesn't work for that game, wow. All right, so the deck is performing at a high level now. Opponents won't even put down a starting Pokemon against this deck. They're so afraid of it. So hopefully we get an actual game going, because that's what I want to do, right? I want to play the deck. I want to play the deck so you can see the deck in action, and I want to play the deck because I want to play the deck some. And it's an okay deck. It's not a top tier deck by any means, but it was a deck that at one time was a viable contender. All right, so flipping the coin, see what I get. So tails. So my opponent chooses. Going second's not terrible, as long as if I can get an Eternatus in the active with an energy to attack and have another energy in hand that I can accelerate to a bench Pokemon. It's actually a pretty good turn 1 attack. So, which I don't actually have that one in the active. So, put down the Moltres. I can Forest Seal Stone for something. Arceus. All right. With, I guess it's Goodra Arceus, right? Or it could be Giratina Arceus, right? Wow. Okay, so a lot of mulligans there. So Goodra. See how well I can set up this turn. So they're pitching a cave. I don't mind that, certainly. My Temple of Sinnoh's not really going to be effective. Not a great turn, I would say. So let me see if I can knock off that energy. If I can knock off the energy, then it means that's a nice, good thing. So I don't know that I'm going to Crobat this turn, because I don't have... There's just not a lot that I can do. I want to get an Eternatus into play. For sure. I do have Air Balloon if I want to accelerate into Eternatus. The problem is, I don't really know if it's worth it here. I really don't. So I will at least bench. What do I want to smack at? Do I want to smack at the? What do I want to ping? The Goodra. Do I want a Crobat? Do I get enough bang from the Crobat? Right. That's part of the question here, right? I'll use his ability here, as I think. I'll play the Stadium. Do I want to... Do I want to? That's a good question. All right, so let me... All right, I'm just gonna dig in here against my opponent, I guess. So that means I need to play this against one of my opposing. So I can't. So I have to attach there. I mean, I could have waited, but because I would rather have a Choice Belt. But all right, that's not. That's actually kind of nice. So I do have the option of drawing a little bit too. No, I will get an Air Balloon, get things going. So a slightly strange turn 1. I think I will throw down my other Eternatus, retreat, Do I want to accelerate to the Moltres or to the other Eternatus? That's kind of my choice here, right? I'm going to sit on Serena. I'll attach the other Eternatus. I mean, maybe I could be making a mistake here, as I might not have any options next turn. I can play. That's a fancy looking Arceus there, isn't it? So, okay, bumping my Stadium. Not a shock there. So they do play Avery, so I have to be careful of that. So at some point, getting an Avery, once I get a full bench, that will really be very crushing to me. The nice thing is the Arceus can't do its big attack, right? It can DTE. Oh, they did DTE to that, so they're not. Wow. Okay. Well, that's all right. I kind of like that. I kind of like that for sure. All right. So what do I do here? So I will. So I evolve. I could bump the Stadium. I think I want to get rid of the energy though, right? I missed the hit, so therefore it would have been better to have tossed that. But so on a Serena, I want to discard and draw. I got energy, so that's quite nice. So what's the damage output right now? It's 210. So I need a little bit more here. Just a little bit more. So I want to. I'll pitch the energy because I can accelerate. What do I have? I have I'll grab the Crobat. I think the goal here is not to play the second Crobat, but we'll see what happens. I would prefer not to do that. So at this point, I'm coming up 10 short. I don't like being 10 short. Accelerate to him so he can attack next turn. And then I have to, I guess I do Air Balloon. Yeah, I'll Air Balloon to Crobat. And I'll use my last Crobat, fill up my bench. I don't love that, but I need to get knockout, and the Crystal Cave made it. The Crystal Cave helped him out, because without that Crystal Cave, I would have not needed to fill up my bench there, which I don't like to do. And if they play down an Avery, well, I kind of cry. I get really crushed with Avery. So they're playing Boss, so that's not as bad. They're going to, all right, well, I'll get rid of that guy, and a Crobat. So I do have Rod. Well, I play one Rod, so I can get some back for sure. We'll see what I can do. I have to draw into a Stadium, though, right, to make this happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5. So 6 times does 180. So I don't have knockout here unless I can bump the Stadium, right? And I can bump the Stadium, so that's quite nice also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't think I have the Pokemon though, right? So I'll play Temple of Sinnoh. Don't have any energy there, though, do I? So I don't want a Marnie now. Gonna do 190. I think I'll Marnie. I think I need to get that rod. I need to hit my rod. I need more Pokemon in my deck, I believe. So it's not terrible. Right, so I'll get the Crobats back to help draw. And I will hit with what? The Eternatus Vmax, maybe? Do I want to... It's not a great spot I'm in, though. So I will just do this attack. The problem is I imagine they're going to Goodra into me. They're going to, they can hard retreat the Arceus even if they can't bump the Temple, right? Okay, so they're going to... No, they did not retreat. So that... Interesting. So... but, of course, they're still going to knock out my Pokemon this coming turn. So, what do I do here? I could... Let's think. I could research also, right? I have options. What do I play? I play two. There's two Serenas in deck. So I could be looking to... Taking out the Goodra is certainly a nice play for me. So let me Crobat and see what I hit. And then I'll have... I didn't hit the Serena anyway, so that's unfortunate there for sure. What's the energy situation? 2 there, so I want to accelerate here. I could attach, and I still could hard retreat, right? I could still try to Serena also, right? Which I still like the Serena option too. So, no, I already Crobated, right? So... I think I'm going to hard retreat here. I'll send up him. I'll make that my play. I will get back an energy. And I will just attack here. So they're going to knock me out next turn. They're guaranteed, but they're only going to take 2 prizes, and I'm thinking that might... I don't know. Should I have just attacked with the Eternatus? No, I think... I don't know. Because I think I'm going to have to retreat out my Eternatus. So let's see. So they play Melanie. Okay, fair enough. I keep hitting a lot of Goodra matchups with this Eternatus deck, and it's just not a good matchup. So I got to say, so for the decks I'm running up against, the Eternatus isn't good. But we'll see. Goodra, because its tanky nature, is very difficult for me. So they can heal 20 damage. That's nice also. So they knock me out there, which is good for them. So I do have Serena I could draw into. I think I want to... let's see, what do I do here? So what's my damage right now? 180. All right, so I'll toss him down. Am I going to boss? Am I going to research this turn? I think I am. I may need to retreat out my Eternatus manually next turn, right? So let's see what I have here for Pokemon. I need to get my damage count up here, right? So I'll grab the Crobat. 210. So I can get up to taking out. I need to take out the Arceus. That's a given. So let me get the energy off the Goodra. So I want to attach to. Who do I want to attach to? I guess I'll attach to this other Eternatus. I'm not going to have a lot of cards in deck once I'm done here. So where I'm at, 240. Actually, I can take out. So maybe so I'm at 240. That's not bad. So maybe I just take out the Goodra this turn, right? So I'll take out the Goodra. And yeah, let me get an energy. I'm getting all right. So they conceded. I'm still not sure I was going to win, but so anyway, the Goodra's a tough matchup for me. Normally, I've been seeing the Lost build, obviously much more commonly. The fact that they had the Arceus kind of makes a nice target for me, I think. So anyway, so there's the deck, and I really pulled out a game I didn't expect to win. So that was nice. So anyway, so you know. The deck list will be posted in the description, and I always post my deck list also on PokemonCard.io as just another place that people can access them, and it also is where I like to utilize it just because it's a place I can store my deck list for future reference too, because I tend to delete them pretty quickly. So anyway, Eternatus, fun deck. Give it a try if you want, and rotation's coming. So what decks is it that you'd like to play before? I have a few more decks to play, which I'll be featuring coming up, but you can, in the comments below, let me know any decks you are thinking of playing in the near future. Take care.